Well, hello, hello, hello. Today I want to talk about the Mobius Strip. Mobius Strips is a loop of paper. Oh, this is not the Mobius Strip. No, no, this is just a regular loop. This, my friends, is a Mobius Strip. It is a strip of paper that has been connected with a half twist to make this sort of infinity loop. By infinity loop, I mean, well, I started adding these stickers on. Wait, I added at the seam. I started at the seam. Okay, I started at the seam with this green one. And then I continued to go around green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow. And as you keep going and going and going, green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow, green, purple, yellow. It could keep going on and on and on, a continuous pattern on this continuous surface. So, how do you make a Mobius strip? Well, I'm glad you asked. So I have this strip of paper, and I'm going to add glue to one end. Just a little glue. Well, maybe a lot. I want to make sure it sticks. Instead of doing a regular loop where I just connect the ends, like our old-fashioned friend right here, our traditional loop, I'm going to give a half twist to connect. And while I'm holding this, I'm going to tell you about the Mobius strip. I was looking at some work by an artist named Escher, M.C. Escher. He's best known for tessellations, but his body of work is extensive. He did printmaking, he did portraits, he did Mobius strips, he did 3D icosahedrons. Like, this guy loved math and art, and he put them together in such a way, it was just remarkable. Well, a lot of his drawings would have these infinity scenes where you couldn't tell what was reality, what was first, or which direction to look. And his work is just very interesting. But the Mobius strip stood out in my mind because I thought, this is interesting, this is fun, and it reminds me not only of math, because he loved math, but it reminded me of science. So I thought about different cycles. This, my friends, is an illustration of the rock cycle. If you start with igneous rock and then keep going, you have your sediments, and then you have sedimentary rock, and then metamorphic, and then back to igneous, and back to sediments, and sedimentary, and metamorphic, igneous, and the cycle continues and goes on and on and on. There are other cycles in science to consider as well. So I've made a couple of Mobius strips that illustrate different cycles. This one, the water cycle, so I put it on blue paper. It shows how precipitation, evaporation, so this looks like the heat rising, and this is condensation when the water molecules come back together and create clouds, and then they get heavy and it rains, and then evaporation happens again, and so on and so forth. Aren't these just so cool? I'm just turning into a math geek a little bit. Art is really my jam, but I love a little bit of science with it. So I'm thinking, what will I do next? Possibly the life cycle of a butterfly. And just using the 4 stages of its life, I could create a Mobius strip. So I want to do that with you really quick right now. So let me clear off this space. And keep my cheat sheet in view so you can have an idea of what I'm doing. think I'll use white. Grab some markers. These are the ones I used to draw this. Okay, let's start with the caterpillar. I'm just going to do a simplified drawing. Wait, I have too much paper here. A simplified drawing. So I'm going to do caterpillar. So there's the head and there's the body. Caterpillar. Chrysalis. On a branch. Butterfly. And then the butterfly is going to lay some eggs on a leaf. Now I started with the caterpillar, but I guess you could start with the eggs on the leaf, because technically I think that might be the best place. But then the caterpillar, let me not do that. I guess I'm just going to keep going, because in the end it's not going to matter, because my Mobius strip is going to have all the parts together. So caterpillar. I'm going to leave the lids off. Chrysalis. The little cocoon on the branch. Adult butterfly. And then it is going to lay some eggs on a leaf. Okay, I'm going to lay these down for a second and go ahead and get ready to make my loop and continue drawing this life cycle, which is a pattern that's going to repeat. So here and together, wait, single, half twist, good. All right, I'm going to pick up where I left off. Where did I leave off? Okay. There is the leaf with the egg, so then it's going to hatch. And baby caterpillar's coming out. Grow and eat, get bigger. Get nice and plump. The next stage is chrysalis, and the next stage is after the chrysalis. See, this gets a little challenging, but it's so worth it in the end. After the chrysalis, adult butterfly, which lays eggs on the leaf. And they hatch, and out pops a caterpillar. He might be a hungry caterpillar. And the chrysalis. All right, and it's repeating, and after that, the adult butterfly. Which goes and lays an egg on a leaf. Eggs on a leaf. And there's going to be a caterpillar. I looked ahead, I see I have just a little bit of space here. Caterpillar. Chrysalis, butterfly, and egg on a leaf. Woo! That was close. So now that I'm done with that, let's do the whole reel. It's like a movie that repeats over and over again. Egg on a leaf, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly, egg on a leaf, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly, egg on a leaf, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly, egg on a leaf. See? Wonderful. A wonderful way to illustrate the life cycle of a butterfly by using a Mobius strip, or loop, as you'd like to say. Something else cool I can do with a Mobius strip is, if I join it together, I can make more than one. Watch what happens when I join this together. I'm going to add a little tape because I don't want it to fall apart on me while I'm doing this demonstration. All right, so there's my half twist. I'm going to cut a slit and cut it down the middle. Let's see what happens. All right, I make a little slit right there. So there's the slit. And I'm going to cut straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. And when I get back, wahoo! It has 2 loops instead of just a half. Cool, right? This looks sort of sculptural. It looks sort of artsy. It's very, very cool. Wait, I think I could do it another way. Let's see what happens. Move this. I don't need that anymore. I'm just going to join this time with only using tape. So I'll put a piece of tape on this side and add a piece on the other side. And this time I'll make 2 slits and cut around. Watch what happens. So here we go. I'm going to make one right here and one right here. I'm dividing it into thirds. Right? Okay, can you see that? Thirds. Okay. Here I go. I'm going to cut it along this way. Wait, that's not a Mobius strip. Scratch that. Take 2. Maybe it's because I didn't put the glue on. Okay, glue and then tape. You guys gotta stop me when I'm doing it all wrong. Okay, Mobius strip. Add a piece of tape, just for security purposes, just to make sure it doesn't pop off. All right. Again, I'm going to cut 2 little notches and see what happens. Well, I know what happens, but you guys watch and see. So I cut 2 little slits right there. And I divide it into thirds, and I'm going to cut it along as 1/3 all along the way. And the cool thing is, when I get back to where I started, I'm already there where that second slit was cut. And here we go. I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. Oops. Oh, I almost cut it in a bad way. I lost my place. Here I go. Keep cutting as if I'm cutting into thirds, and voila. There. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Now I have this small Mobius strip, because there is a twist in it. There's a twist that's connected to a larger one. And that's what happens when you divide it into thirds. That's very fun. very sculptural. Looks like I could take this and create something that looks like a sculpture, a paper sculpture maybe. That was just a little Mobius strip fun today. I wanted to share that and share my ideas because I think it's really cool. I think it's a fun way to talk about patterns, talk about the patterns of life, a life cycle, patterns in science, a rock cycle, or just to make cool structural paper sculpture forms. A Mobius strip is a wonderful thing, or you could call it a Mobius loop. Thanks for listening. It was fun sharing.